My name is Keilyn Bucio, and I am an accounting major with a minor in global business leadership. I'm currently a first year here at St. Ben's. I identify as Latina, coming from Mexico. My parents are from Morelos and the city. I live in St. Paul, Minnesota, but identify more with Minneapolis because that's where I was raised. Minneapolis feels like home just because of the amount of memories that I've created there and the amount of culture that has been established there. I feel like when I think of Minneapolis, I think of all the panaderias, the bread stores on Lake Street. Lake Street is like a street with like a lot of Mexican facilities. So like the taco restaurant, the stores with like quinceañera dresses or like hats, boots, all that. Sometimes after school, me and my friends would walk like 2 blocks away and head to like the local bakery and get some bread. It's really bad to say, but we would skip class to go to the global market and we buy like jarritos. The move from St. Paul was kind of weird just because Lake Street is such a populated area and St. Paul is, depending on where you live, it could be really calm. And so the first 2 weeks I was like, it's really quiet. Like, where's the music? Where are like the little kids playing outside? Where are all the people? The majority of my family lives in Mexico, but I do have a few family members here. I haven't gotten the opportunity to go to Mexico, and so I still feel like a part of my identity is missing. I feel like although I have so much up here, I feel like in order to be, well, not truly Mexican, but to really live like the whole like experience, like I kind of wish that I'd be able to like go down there. If I ever go to Mexico, the first thing I want to see is my family. We haven't really been able to talk up here, but I really hope that I can reconnect. So the way that I got here was from my school counselor. She's actually a Benny, and so she was like, hey, man, you should give it a shot. Like, I think it'll be really good for you. And I was like, all right. So when I got accepted into college, I remember getting my acceptance letter and I read it to my parents, and my mom and my dad started tearing up and they were like, wow, Keilyn, we're so proud of you. Even now I'm like about to like tear up. I know for them and for me it means so much, especially because there's so much meaning into like going into college. Education in Mexico isn't really accessible, and so a lot of our family members haven't had the chance to really get that. And so our parents' journey coming up here and like all the hardships that they went through, all of that kind of adds on together, and it makes it so much meaningful. My home here at CSB would be through several groups, but I feel like the program I lead has really helped me a lot to find those groups. Some organizations that have made me feel like home here would be iLead, ELAC, AIM, and a couple other groups here and there. But I feel like iLead had helped me establish a home base, and from there I was able to branch out into different clubs and activities. ELAC has helped me feel at home again, just remembering pieces of my culture that are back at home. So coming here, CSB has really helped me a lot, especially in the aspects of like mental health. They've provided me with like counseling services, something which I hadn't really received growing up. Because they made it so accessible, I've been able to address so many issues that I hadn't been able to do so before. I feel like in a lot of Latino culture, mental health is really overlooked. Just because in the environment that many were brought up in, back in Mexico, it was always like, you need to strengthen yourself, you need to be emotionally immune to like situations, like you don't have time to deal with all of that. And so I feel like those lessons were kind of enforced to a lot of the recent generations. I don't think parents do it on purpose, but it's just something that they were kind of also raised with. So the first time someone introduced counseling services to me was through iLead. Jackie, one of the counselors here, had presented on mental health and kind of promoted her services. Through that, me and her connected, and she helped me out a lot through the first and second semester. Some advice I would have for like incoming freshmen or just people from the Latino community is don't be afraid to be emotionally vulnerable, and don't be afraid to seek out help. You can't always do things on your own, and so it's important to kind of just seek help, be open to it.